Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring.
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain all the way down to all 50 states in the globe, it's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? Happy birthday.
One more day.
Is it one more day?
One more day, buddy. One more day.
All right.
The party starts tomorrow at 8 p.m. because we are hanging out. Well, we're one half
With the peaches and power bombs.
We're gonna be
tomorrow.
celebrating Torres' birthday, baby. Vinny, what's up, brother?
Yeah,
One more day to the birthday. Yeah. It's your birthday. So, Geekins, let's introduce the guestin.
Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the buzzard, Tommy Bolton. The buzzard.
Oi, oi, it's your boy, Tommy Bolton. I'm over here on this podcast. I'm not doing that. Fake YouTuber voice. Hey, how y'all feel about lizards?
Oh, they're cool.
Lizards?
We love lizards.
Yeah. Lizards cool.
We love turtles. We love lizards. We had, actually, who was it we had that had on the podcast that had snakes? He brought snakes.
Got a snake, but he probably...
That was Cade.
His name is Cade. He's from Long Island.
Oh, cool.
He brought a snake on, and then didn't you leave the snake on the screen with him? I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna leave him until he jumps off.
Geez, don't do it! Don't do it!
He dive bombs.
Oh, he does a flying headbutt.
He basically does, and which is funny because that's my whole thing. That headbutts are my bang. That's my whole thing, and then he just flies off of stuff head first.
Oh, jeez. So, if our fans aren't familiar with you, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm the buzzard, Tommy Bolton. I trained at Booker T's school, Reality of Wrestling in Houston, Texas. And that's pretty much where you find me, the Texas area, trying to branch out. But lately, you know how it is with COVID and whatnot. Texas is where I be. Texas All-Star Wrestling, PWF, obviously Reality of Wrestling. About to go over to Hurricane, got some other things like that going. Texas area. It's in Texas, trying to be there.
We're trying to get out to Texas because we've heard a lot of good things about the Texas independent wrestling scene. I heard it's very hot right now. Like
it's booming. Yeah, it's it definitely feels big to be in it and see like people that I know and have trained with and the things that they're doing. Like just wow, just don't even have to leave the state and you're doing that. Wow.
I've been to Texas for the Rumble.
Yeah,
that's it. So I haven't done anything work related with the podcast to Texas, but I was there at I was at the San Antonio. Was it the one in 2017? I think it was.
I think it was in the Houston Astros Stadium, wasn't it? Yeah.
No. It was in the Alamo Dome.
Oh, it was Alamo. That was Alamo.
Yeah.
Alamo
it's got to be San Antonio, right?
Yeah. Alamo Dome. That Houston. Sorry, San Antonio is where it's at right now.
Yeah, San Antonio is dope. I've worked a few times in San Antonio back when heavy metal was still running.
Yeah.
I guess that's another promotion in whatever happened to that promotion? It went under because of
they recently closed. Like they had like some difficulties like during COVID, obviously, like getting a venue and stuff like that. And they were doing a lot of like in tandem stuff, like with other promotions where like guys from their promotion were doing shows for other San Antonio based promotions. They did a lot of deathmatch stuff. They did a lot of like they did a lot of that stuff. It was cool. They had for a while they had a spot inside of a mall. So like you go into a mall and one of the little shops, not just like in the middle of the floor, but in one of the shops just has a wrestling ring and people go in there and get put through doors and bashed with chairs and barbed wire and crazy deathmatch stuff just in a mall in San Antonio.
Oh, geez.
I've been to that mall too. So
The
that
Rolling
mall,
Oaks Mall.
is it the Royal Oaks Mall? I think it was the one right near Riverwalk I'm talking about.
I think there might be different ones. I actually don't know. I should know more of San Antonio.
It's like right on Riverwalk. You could see Riverwalk right from the mall.
I think it was a different one, but I have been to that mall. Yeah.
You have been to that one. Yeah. So that's a cool mall too, though. They're both cool. So
Imagine you're walking to the mall around Christmas time. Imagine it, and then you just look over and you see someone going through a door. You're like,
that would make my day.
What?
Yeah.
I'd be excited. Then I'll be like, why do I need all this stuff? I'm just gonna watch this person go
I'm
through
just
a
gonna
door.
go watch Aaron Mercer land someone with a pile driver onto a pile of Mike and Ike's candy. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh my god, Mike!
Like you'll see someone like go head first into like Haagen-Dazs or something like that. You know what I mean?
I want someone to throw me through the window of a Dippin' Dots.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like when that's what I'm saying. Like
I think that was
like,
strawberry dots. Oh, that's glass.
You see those families that they'll just be like they'll be shopping like in the mall and they'll be like, "What are these guys doing?"
We definitely had a lot of that. Like they tended to run when the mall was about to close, if not like most stores are closed. But there would always be those few stragglers or employees just, what is that?
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, welcome to the madness.
What's up, dude? Brandon's awesome. He's a podcaster too.
What's up, Brandon?
Yes. He's training to become a wrestler.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he's a champion too, so.
Nice.
You when you come to Long Island, you may be able to challenge him for his belt. Brandon.
Yeah, he has like a 24/6 belt. It's called the 23/6 title because it's basically defended 23 hours a day and 6 days a week instead of 7.
So you get the 1 day off and the 1 hour every day, like a lunch break.
It's gonna come down and swipe him and take off. No. Take off.
Me and Joe coming for the belt, Brandon. Don't forget that one. So you better polish it up, buddy.
Just remember, Geek's like
Brandon,
Andre. I just do this, and Geek's gonna jump, grab you, and hold you to the ground, and I'll put one finger on you like this. It's over.
Or how do you know I don't want the belt for myself?
For what, Geek? You don't even show your background. You show a screen.
Seems like there's some infighting here.
Always.
Always do that.
He's the heel, I'm the face, but you don't know him. I'm like the Roman Reigns. You think I'm a good guy.
Joe's the typical. Sorry, Joe's like the typical sneaky heel. Like you don't know what's coming, but you know what I mean. Like he's the Seth Rollins with the steel chair. You know what I mean. To
turn around, I'm like this. Oh, I was just gonna give you a chair.
Probably. Aren't you like 5'1"? I mean, you can whack my chest, I guess, if you want.
I'll do your flag go after your knee as you're standing there.
That's no, don't do that. My knees are made of balsa wood. That's a
bad
idea.
Never mind. No, I was just gonna check if your knee pad's on straight.
It's probably not. That damn thing falls off all the time.
So, who would you say your dream opponent is to face?
Ooh, it's a tough one. If I can just pick anyone, just pluck out of wrestling, Cesaro. Freaking love that dude. Freaking love that dude. Yeah, like he's like an athlete in every sense of the word. Like there's nothing he can't do, but then everything he does looks like really good. Like there's like moves that like when you're learning them, you're like, yeah, I technically accomplished this move correctly. And then you watch him do everything he does, and it's like, no, that's like the template of how you should do that.
I mean, we'll miss him though in the ring right now. I think he's probably just taking a break right now because
probably. I mean, everyone needs it. I follow him on social media as motivation. It's like, yeah, he's been quiet. He's been quiet. I'm hoping to see him soon somewhere.
I mean, everyone's saying he's going to be in AEW, but AEW can't sign everybody.
They can't sign everybody. That pocketbook has got to be feeling a little.
Yeah, you're like
a little tight lately.
I can't go to the mall and buy myself an ice cream pop. I'm afraid I'll go over on my bank account.
I can't buy myself another wrestler. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mr. Khan. We can't afford any more wrestlers.
Mr. Khan, you were at Dippin' Dots in the mall. We saw you use the wrong credit card. Mr. Khan, no.
That's the wrestler credit card, Mr. Khan.
Whoa, wrong card. I got to put a marker on there. So I have something really funny. I don't know if you play video games.
I'm tangentially aware of video games. I don't get to play a lot, but I watch a lot of other people play video games.
That made me laugh when I was playing my career mode in WWE 2K22. They have a school in the game. They have Booker T. The school's in there. I was like, and then you said that he went to the school, and I was like, I wonder what it's like to actually go to the school and then play the game and go, oh, they're talking about my school.
That's interesting. I want to see. I guess I haven't seen that aspect of it yet. I've seen a lot of like people like, you know, playing matches and stuff. I haven't actually seen like the story mode very much out of that game. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's really cool that they talk about Booker T's school in Houston. I'm like, what? Yeah.
Yep, that's the home base.
You're the person that went to the school. So whoever you create, if you make yourself, it's kind of like reality.
I feel like you gotta make yourself if you've got that option. It's like, hey, I've been there.
Yeah, I really did do that.
Hey, that's where I got beat up. No. Yeah.
So how is Booker T as a teacher? Is he
he's really cool. He's like, there's trainers, like he's not going to be the person who teaches you how to like, oh, there he goes. Yeah. He's not going to be the person who teaches you like individual, like wrist lock, hammer lock type stuff, but he's like very much a presence there. Like when you're moving up, or no one gets on the show without his okay, for example. Like he's going to be going to the school, doing days where he like checks everyone out, sees where everyone's at in ring wise. But it's really cool. He's such like a wealth of knowledge. Like you like everyone knows Booker T, but like when you really think about Booker T, like he really knows like every aspect of it. Like obviously he's great at promos, King Booker and all that, but like he can break down like not just like here's how you do this and make it look right. He can break down, and when you do this, it's because he's thinking this. So you got to make this happen to make. There's like so many levels to it. And just hearing him talk is awesome.
Yeah,
he was always. Awesome. Oh, sorry. And what's also awesome is when you're talking through like matches with him, he'll like, and then you know you can bing bang boom, and then you hit him with the bah, and no one knows what that means until you've heard him say it enough times. That doesn't mean anything until you're at a certain point in your own career.
Sorry about that. You got me when you did that, because all I could hear is Booker T going, "It got it in the before the match," and I hear the pudding pop.
Always here's a shucky ducky quack quack.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
Everyone who goes through the school has a really solid Booker impression. Mine's all right, but yeah, it's you develop one.
Tell Booker me T, you didn't just do that.
Now Booker T was always my favorite in WCW.
It's great.
Growing up in WCW, he was always, and he was so entertaining back then.
So good.
I was so happy when Joe must have been disappointed though, but I was happy when he beat Scott Steiner for the title.
You got that wrong. I may be a Steiner Brothers fan, but that's when I was mad at Scott because he turned on Rick and he was on his own, and I'm like, gosh, they would have been still together.
You were happy with that again.
That would never
have
happened.
He lost. My old friend was mad because Steiner lost, but I was like, good. He should have lost. It wouldn't have been, the Steiner brothers still together, this wouldn't be happening. I'm the mad girlfriend. See what happens when you're stupid? Use your own credit card. Now we're in trouble. Like that was me. Whatever.
See what happens when you turn to your brother? He's like, you lose the title. There you go.
That's what happens.
Rick would have saved you. Rick would have took his dog out and bit you.
That is a threat.
Yeah. Rick would have got the bulldog and bit you. I like Rick more than Scott anyway.
This is a fun interview.
Rick's funnier, and he has weird things he talks about, and his son is now was the champion. But Scott doing math in the corner, yelling.
I was about to say, but you can't forget the Steiner maths.
Oh man.
We got 43 and a third chance.
You know what's funny? They there was somebody that when they got the announcement, they're like on TikTok, they're like, oh, so glad that they're gonna have him Steiner's in love, and they got June. That means they're gonna give Scott Steiner a hot mic on a WWE show. Oh no.
That is I'm sure that was running through someone's mind behind the scenes.
I was waiting for the Scott Steiner math promo to come up somewhere.
Just like I'm sure someone like now listen, Scott, we keep it at about a 5, you know.
You know you're mad, but
No, I mean it was very cool to see that induction though.
Well deserved too.
I was bummed they released the game so fast. I'm like, damn it! I thought I even said this to Geek. I was like, damn it. He's like, what? You're not happy the game come out? Yeah, I'm elated. But now we'll never get a Steiner's DLC this year. With the Steiners and the Steiner son.
That's a hell of a 3-person tag team right there.
Oh my god, the Steiner family.
Oh man.
Steiner
Next
family
year,
versus
if they
like
don't do that, I'm
from
coming
different years.
Yeah. I don't get a Steiner DLC next year, I'm gonna be pissed.
What do you think the big DLC for next year will be?
Steiner Brothers. They're probably gonna have a Steiner Brothers like a Rey Mysterio package. The next year is gonna be Steiner Brothers.
That's a pretty good.
Think so?
Oh, come on! They just got in the Hall of Fame. They're one of the most famous. Sorry to your coach, but the most famous tag teams of all time. I don't think. They did have the Steiners. The Harlem Heat did have the tag titles 10 times. Can't say that's not a lot. But
10 times.
Yeah, we had Stevie Ray on our podcast in the beginning.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, we had Stevie.
Yeah,
he's something else. All I'm going to say is he's a something else.
The character.
We just let him be him. That's it.
We just
I'm not going to say I interacted with him a lot, but yeah, whenever I have interacted with Stevie, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
We just take the mic from me and Geek. We're just like,
okay.
Let him have
it. Say what you want to say. That's it.
Just don't get us kicked off Twitch.
although he did call Stone Cold Steve Austin a pussy around the podcast.
Oh my god! After the podcast, I have to find that clip. I'm going to play for you. Every wrestler.
It's on TikTok. It's on TikTok though.
That's
every
awesome.
Male and female wrestler that we showed the clip to after the podcast, they're all faces always the same.
How is this not have 700,000 views by now?
My only clip I have on Instagram that has 14 point something billion views is my Joe's Tea. The rest of them have 100 and something. How does this not have billions of views? This is like new. It was news breaking.
We love Steve. We love Stevie. Stevie's awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Good guy. That made me go, what?
What?
Just crazy.
We would love to have Booker on here. You know,
one day.
One day we'll get Booker.
Yeah.
Just tell him you came on Dudes at Ringside. Tell him you talked about the school.
That's it. That gets attention right there.
Have to be careful what I say. He might check and see my impression of him, then getting called in the office.
Oh no!
He's like, what the hell did you do, man?
You really think I sound like that? Just tear me up.
Maybe he'll like it.
I don't know. I don't think I'm good. I don't think it's good enough for that.
Well, if he's watching this episode, hi Booker. We are doing an Owners Month in June. Please don't kill us. We're new.
Please don't kill me.
Don't kill him. Don't kill him. Don't kill him, please. He's a nice guy.
Don't ban us from WWE events either.
Yes.
Right?
I'll go with my regular glasses on. They'll be like, "Oh, you're fine." They see Geek. They're like, sorry,
you can't come in. You can't come in. You're banned."
Geek.
It's like my picture's right on the wall. And like,
if only we could see the wall, with the screen effect.
Yeah. Geek's like, Geek, that's not me. Geek, honey, get me a razor. From where? The store. Next to the car, wetting his face. Geek's next to the car, shaving his face. He gets a big,
see, that's not me.
That's not me. It's not me. Some Grand Theft Auto type of stuff. Just no, I got a different hairstyle. It's not me. It's not me.
Like I take out. They're like, you can't come in. That's you. And I go, let's do this. Put the hat and the glasses on the side. I'm like, take off the polo, put on a regular WWE t-shirt, and they're like, am I still banned? What are you talking about? You're not the same guy.
Head on in.
And he's like, buddy, the glasses and the hat and the polo are over there. We didn't see anything. You see me put the money in his hand. If this,
There you go.
$10 bill good enough for you? Just pretend like you didn't even see me. That's me.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Secret heel.
Secret heel.
That's how we do it.
So who are some of your inspirations, you'd say?
I definitely, obviously, Booker T. Just can't not go through the school and see like loads of Booker stuff.
You should say Booker.
Should say, but also, I mean, like, you watch his stuff. He's so good, dude. But like Booker T, Kurt Angle, I really love.
Kurt Angle's my favorite right there.
I love Kurt Angle's stuff. For a while, I even did the strap pull down when I'm about to attempt my finish thing, just like he did, just kind of marking out while in the ring, having a wrestling match. It's just great. But everyone gets it, you know. I'm gonna do this move that no one has a clue what it's called. Whatever, it's fine. Brock Lesnar. I love Brock Lesnar's old stuff. Like, I love what Brock Lesnar's doing now, but I love Brock Lesnar's old stuff. Like him and Kurt Angle probably had my favorite match together. That like 60-minute Iron Man they had on SmackDown. That one was really good. And like here's one, Sheamus. I love Sheamus's stuff.
Yeah.
Sheamus goes out. Everything that Sheamus does looks like it hurts. Like, I've never seen Sheamus like, oh, I barely tapped you. No, Sheamus is gonna hit you.
What about that forgotten match, Sheamus versus Cesaro for the U.S. title? Back, I think it was.
I definitely watched it. I'm trying to remember what happened.
I think it might have been 06. Was it 06, 07? I think it might have been. I'm trying to remember when it was.
Maybe 07?
I remember it was for the U.S. title. I remember that
Yeah.
match. And people were raving saying, dude, that match was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I like vaguely remember it. It's like, I'm gonna have to do
It was the first meeting they have ever done.
Yeah, that's right.
Even before the Best of 7 series match.
I remember that. I do. I very vividly remember that. I feel like on some level they called themselves the Bar, or they called them the Bar just so Sheamus could say "de burr."
Yeah.
Just the way they said it killed me.
The other thing that freaks me out about Sheamus is does that drum thing on your chest on the rope. I'm like,
oh man,
I feel like that sucks. I feel like that really hurts, but I also really want to take it. I'm
how do you fake that? People are like,
you don't.
I said to people when I've
hit really hard.
Like, can I hit you in the chest like that and say I didn't actually hit you in the chest?
There's ways to do things. Like, if you chop someone, there's like some people are really good at having their hand just so and hitting exactly flat so it makes a noise and you feel a slap, but it doesn't feel like debilitating. I'm not good at that, so I just whack the dog shit out of people as hard as I can. That's why I only throw like 1 or 2, because then they're like, don't hit me anymore.
like the leg slap is what you're talking about, right? A lot of wrestlers do that, and
I mean, like on a chop specifically, you shouldn't really need to do a leg slap on a chop, because like even if you hit them as hard as you want, you're hitting meat. Like, you're not going to injure anyone, so you just whack them. You just whack the hell out of people.
Oh, geez, great. There we go, geek.
Yeah.
Things like that, or like Sheamus's thing. I don't know. There's no way you can cup your wrist to make that make noise. Like, he just has to whack you. He's just got to beat the hell out of you.
Like, it really does sound like a freaking drum. When he's hitting that chest on SmackDown, it's like, he's going to
really
slap
just
that dude's heart.
Like, the dog snot out of people.
You can curse, don't you?
Okay. I thought about it for a second.
Yeah. You can curse for now, but when we get sponsors, that's it. Game over.
One day, geek, one day. We'll get a spot. You know what sponsorship we're going to get? And it's going to shock you one day.
It's going to be Monster.
A rib place. I want to get sponsored by a rib place.
I want to get sponsored by Monster and put my face on it.
I want Monster, but I want to get sponsored by a place that Joe will get really fat. Like a rib place, or like, what's that really good steak place that people like to go to?
So Monster, if you're listening and watching.
I don't drink my energy drinks.
Let me just hide my dang energy drinks in here.
I want food sponsors. I don't want energy drink sponsors, because if it's food sponsors, Joe can eat it during the podcast and eat like, go to Bubba's Steakhouse.
Have an ad read where you just got a mouthful of, and then when you go to Joe's Steakhouse, just food.
I just want to be sponsored by Monster because I pack out Coca-Cola. So as I'm packing out, I'd be like, "Hey, that guy kind of looks familiar right there."
Or I want a taco place to sponsor us. Or if as I said, a steak place, so my mom can have a big stack full of steaks in the fridge and be like, yeah, I got you that. Remember that.
Go for a
You
steak.
can't get mad.
Y'all getting me hungry over here.
My bad. And you
What's
live in the best place for steak and ribs.
I really do.
Texas.
And Tex-Mex, like
Ooh.
Mexican food too, dude.
Here we go. That's my favorite question to ask. Well, you ask your question first, Geek, because
I just did.
Oh, here we go. If we went to it came to your neck of the woods, where would you bring us and why?
Ooh, challenging. There's places that I would eat at a lot, but then there's places like, okay, if I'm trying to show you something. Shoot, that is a good question. Where do I go a lot? That's a Texas only thing. Probably one of the like little like Mexican restaurants where like the name is something in Spanish and everyone inside speaks Spanish, but the food is awesome. Like I don't speak enough Spanish to order, but it's like, you know, pointing at the menu and then the food comes out and it's like the most authentic Mexican food you're going to get. And it's really, really good.
Yeah.
That'd be my go-to. I love Mexican food.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, me too. Tacos, everything. Quesadillas.
That's like our sponsor in the top. That's our trademark thing. Tacos and pizza here on Dudes at Ringside. We're like the Taco Pizza Podcast.
Taco Pizza Podcast.
Wrestling podcast? No. We're a taco and pizza podcast.
Yeah. And wrestling. Wrestling thrown in the middle. So,
Wrestling's in there.
It's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere. It's like the toy box when you're as a kid. It's everything. You find like He-Man, the Ghostbusters, Star Wars, and then there's wrestlers underneath.
In the chest, it's like pizza, you see tacos, you see movies, and then you'll see like wrestling. I'm like, oh, that's where it is.
Yeah, they are.
There it is.
Joe needs to make that. Our artist Joe needs to make that logo. Like we're looking. My legs are hanging out of the chest, the toy chest, and you're grabbing my legs and you're looking in and you're like pointing at that'll be next year's logo.
There you go.
We'll do like a Toy Story logo. It's like what Woody says. I don't want to play with you no more.
Yeah, fine. Have you holding my legs and you doing the geek fit like that, and you're pointing out and you see like the tacos, the pizza, and then have my feet hanging out and my head popping out the other side like this, and I'm holding a taco, holding a wrestling toy.
Gotta have a taco in there.
Yeah,
it's like Woody. I don't want to play with you no more.
That's me. Me and Geek fight. That's our. That's me and Geek when we fight. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Some connotations there.
Yeah.
What?
We always fight, and it's hilarious. All right, Geekins. Next question.
All right. So, what some places you love to travel to?
Oh man, anywhere. I want to go to Japan. That's like somewhere in my career goals. Like I want to go wrestle in Japan, just to like for the experience of it. Like one of our trainers, Ryan Davidson, went to Japan while I was still like learning everything. Like I hadn't had matches yet, and like seeing like his experiences and stuff, and like some of the stuff he came back with, and like they do this drill and they do this and they do it sounds awesome. Like he went with DDT, I think it was.
Oh, DDT, I know that promotion. That's like the comedy promotion, right?
It's like it's like they got like a comedic thing about it. Yeah, but they still had like it was awesome, like to see the stuff that he got to do.
Like Kota Ibushi was wrestling a doll or something like that.
Probably they did some funny stuff. He got to one of the things they liked about him was his gimmick is that he's the bear from Bel Air, which is like a sub area of Houston, but he's the bear from Bel Air, and he had like this like black and brown singlet, and he had like brown fur knee pads, and he's the bear. It was great. It was awesome.
So is that the promotion where Kota Ibushi was shooting off fireworks from the top of the car, right?
It might have been.
Or is that a different one? Because I remember there was like a clip going.
I know Kota was there. I forget.
Kenny was there too. Sorry. Kenny was there too.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, it just seems cool place to go. Cool experiences to have, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's like all we like every time we get a wrestler from like the Texas area, they're always like, you got to go here, you got to go there. And then like when we're like, well, you definitely need to come to the East Coast because, and then Geek goes to his list of like places, promotions you need to come to, like always. Or Geek.
Who's somebody you would love to wrestle in Japan?
One more time.
Who's somebody you would love to wrestle in Japan?
Man, like there's like a lot of the names would end up just being from like New Japan, you know, like oh man, now I'm drawing a blank because I don't want to pronounce it wrong.
Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, that's I don't want to pronounce it wrong. I'm really bad.
Yeah.
That's the guy. That's the guy. The bald guy, right?
Yeah. He's awesome.
That guy's top of my list. I love watching that guy's stuff.
Everybody wants to work with him because I think it's because he's just so good that everyone's like if he's that good, he's gonna make me look good. So I want to work with this guy. You know
and
what I mean?
just like all his stuff that I watch, I definitely agree.
I remember Kenny before that match happened was like the one guy who said that he wanted to wrestle in Japan was Ishii because he kept praising him, how good he was in the ring, and that he wants to work a match with him. And I think a month or two later, it happened, and I'm like,
right,
it's happening. You know?
sometimes you say it, and the world just makes it happen. You know,
yeah, it's crazy. You know, somebody's gonna see this podcast one day and say, "Yeah, you want to go to Japan, right?" So
book Tommy Bolton.
Tommy Bolton. I'm gonna see a poster and be like, "Didn't we just create that right there?"
That's us. We did that.
It was on our podcast. There we go.
Yeah.
Started right here.
It starts right here on Dudes at Ringside podcast. There you go.
Starts and finishes. We always give people magic, so we'll be seeing you soon with a title in your hands because every time someone comes on our podcast, they either get a title shot and we see the poster and we're like, did they win? Did they win? And then a week later, we see the person with the title in their picture. We're like, magic.
Joe calls it magic. I call it Dudes at Ringside voodoo.
There we go. I'm down with
I get nervous when they say voodoo.
I like voodoo better.
Voodoo goes different ways, man. Like either voodoo could be really good or we're in trouble because they're like, I got hurt, dude. Moo, see voodoo, no, see voodoo.
I think voodoo is kind of neutral. I think it depends on who's doing it.
Yeah. It's Papa Shango, you're screwed.
I ain't down on that voodoo.
Or you'll be doing like the Ultimate Warrior throwing up green.
That could be kind of cool. You could use that.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I'm like,
or if it's Tamaku, he'll just complain about sundial.
Yeah.
Tamaku throws up green and tries to go eat more green things to put it back in his system.
He starts like, no, it's food, huh? I need it. It's grass. Like Tamaku, great. So have you had a match against Tamaku yet or no?
I was supposed to coming up next month, and I think that card got changed around. There's a chance. There's a chance I'm going to get to work with Tamaku soon.
If you do, please send us the
want
clips. Please send us the clips. We have to see the match with you and Tamaku.
I'm going to headbutt the shit out of that guy.
Like this is like you when you're hitting him, you should be like, this is for Joe and Metal Geek. No one in the crowd will know it at all what you're
No one
talking.
has a clue.
Yeah.
He pops underneath his mask and then throws me over the ropes for distance into the crowd.
That's my friend, not yours.
He's like, no one knows what you're talking about. Oh, right?
What's Dudes at Ringside? They pop the opposite direction. They go, Dudes at Ringside suck. And Tom will go, yeah, they do.
They do suck, yeah, right?
When are they gonna ask me back?
They broke my sundial.
Just hearing so much about this sundial.
Yeah.
About that.
I'm gonna ask him. So did you ever get the sundial fixed? No.
Tom, what's the deal with the sundial?
Don't ask me about my sundial.
I'm already afraid if we meet him, he's gonna like give Geek a nice handshake.
Like a nice hug, it'd be like that, all right?
Thank you.
Right?
Give you a chiropractic adjustment.
And me, he slaps me on the back, and I just fall on the floor. And I'm like,
He's such a big dude.
I'm sorry.
I never met him, but I heard that he's really tall, you know, from everybody.
it's not just that he's tall, because he's not like, he's not like 7 foot. He's not Shaq, but he's like 6'3", 6'4", but he's so wide as well that like you see him and you're like, okay, that's a big guy. Like if you just see him in a picture, you're like, okay, that's a big guy. And then you meet him, you're like, oh, he's a really big guy.
Yikes.
I forgot he lives in a volcano. I forgot about that. His sundial's broken.
Maybe that's what happened to his sundial. How do you use a sundial in a volcano? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Does it work? Does it work like that? I'm not convinced.
And it's
I'm
funny.
not convinced.
I went to my cousin's house in upstate New York, and they actually have a sundial. And I was like, I think I sent you a picture of it, Geek. I was like, sundial. And you were like, you just sent me when I was going on my vacation to New England. My cousin has it in the yard. I sent it to Geek. I'm like, this is what Tamaku has to deal with. And I thought, just check this out, Geek. And you just sent me the laughing emoji. You're like, oh no, look at that. Imagine that back in the day, no clocks, and you're outside doing the yard, and you just have to look at a sundial to see what time it is.
I feel like I would just not care what time it is. Like sun's up, I'm doing this. Sun's down, I'm sleeping. I feel like I would only have 2 times: sun up, sun down.
Like think back in those days, you didn't really have a TV, maybe just a radio to listen to the games. That's it.
It's hard to imagine.
That's crazy.
I've grown up with entirely too much technology.
Yeah, me too. No, I grew up in the 90s, so we really didn't have that much technology yet. Like we didn't have a computer.
I am a young human being, so I grew up with a lot of technology.
Like I didn't have a TV. I had a TV, but we didn't have a computer. There was no computers yet.
I remember us getting a computer when I was growing up, and then I remember it shifting when I think it was when me and my brother finally got like phones that could use the internet. And then like from then on, it's like technology, everything. Everybody's got a TV. Everybody's got Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I can't imagine what Dudes at Ringside is going to be like in 10 years, Joe. We're going to be in like the person's house pretty soon.
Holograms.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're going to be
supposed to do holograms. We'd have to do cartoon versions of us with the goggles on. We'll be doing the show, and people will be standing in the crowd.
There you go. Virtual reality.
Have you sitting between us as a virtual reality people?
That's how I see the show. I see the show like we're going to be in people's houses and like, wow, Dudes at Ringside's actually in my house on my sofa. They're actually talking, and I'm like, yep.
But dumb me, I won't realize where I'm standing, and the guy's like, "Get away from my daughter, Joe! What the hell? I didn't even know it wasn't supposed to be over there."
You're standing on the kitchen table. Your feet are in my potato salad.
Joe, I just made that steak. Now it's gone. Sponsored by Joe's Steakhouse.
Callbacks.
And also sponsored by Lance's Monster.
There you go.
With the geek face right on it.
There you go.
I seriously think that that Monster does not look like it. Looks like beer. I still always joke and say these people are not drinking Monster; they're drinking beer in the morning. It does. If you look at it really fast, it looks like beer. It's like yellow.
A little bit. There's definitely cans that I've seen where I saw someone drinking a Monster and I thought it was a beer once or twice. That's definitely happened.
So I don't know if you saw Elon's Twitter page. He wrote like someone wrote to him, buy McDonald's next so you could fix the ice cream machine. And then
not even I can work miracles.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that, right? Yeah, I did see that.
And they're like, I'm gonna buy Coca-Cola and make it real. What did you say?
Instead of put the cocaine back.
Yeah.
Put the cocaine back in Coca-Cola.
I feel like people have been editing those. I didn't think some of those were real.
No, the one with Coca-Cola, Elon probably really did. That's from his actual tweet.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
The McDonald's one's different though. That one was edited, but
it looked like it.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna buy McDonald's and fix the ice cream machine. I don't make miracles.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. That's great stuff right there. So, what do you see yourself in 10 years though?
Man, hopefully doing this for my main source of income. That's my main way I look at it. Like, I guess I don't have a zeroed in goal. Like, okay, well, by this date, I want to be at this company having this match. More like, I want to pay my bills headbutting people. That's what I want to do. I want to, all my bills. Obviously, you get paid for shows, but you still have your day job and stuff like that. I want to not have to deal with the day job anymore.
That's the goal right there. That's the American dream right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Being an entrepreneur and just doing your own thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Joe?
Do
Do you have any advice that you like wrestlers that are starting out today, or
definitely commit to it, but commit to every aspect of it. Like one of the things that kind of like helped me, like one of the things that helped me out early on, I didn't start out like I'm in decently good shape, you know, I got some going on, but like I was not when I started. I was about 240, 235 when I started training. And I was about 230, 235 when I had my first match in 2018. And it was not like it was not a very chiseled looking 230. And like when I first got on the show, it's like, okay, crap, I'm on the show. And I like lost that 30 pounds like within like 6 months, I want to say. Like just like I guess what I'm trying to say is like committing to not just learning your craft, but committing to your look, committing to your studying of it, like just going and finding a place that has a ring and like practicing moves until you're good at them. That's good. That's part of it. But the other part of it is looking like a wrestler and like looking at the people who made it where you're trying to go and seeing what they did differently or seeing what you can emulate or what you can like take notes from, I guess. Like don't get too focused on making sure I can do the coolest move, because that's not the only aspect of it. If that makes sense.
That does make sense, you know, because it's all about telling a story as well.
Yeah, telling a story, like obviously being able to talk, being able to like be a character, or even if it's just being yourself, being able to speak confidently as yourself. It's all like there's certain aspects that I feel like people might overlook because they're focused on what they really think they want to do. And it's like, no, you've got to be good at all of it. You've got to look the part. You've got to be able to wrestle the part. You got to talk the part. It's a lot of commitment to really want to do this.
Yeah, totally. It's like, it's a full-time, not full-time job. Well, wrestling is sort of like a full-time job. Like you have to keep yourself in shape. You have to eat the right stuff. You have to get to bed by the certain time. Always never miss a practice. Always make sure you keep yourself out of trouble in the ring and out of the ring, because if you go the wrong way in the wrestling world and you do one thing wrong and make somebody mad, you're done. You're done.
It can be like that. I've noted it's hard to do, and it's hard to be out doing stuff wrong if you're doing everything else right, because you'll be exhausted. You'll just go home and collapse.
Yeah. Like you say the wrong thing. Like you say the wrong thing to the wrong person in the wrestling world. It's like that's it. Like
that's what I meant. That's what I meant right there. That's what I meant.
It's like you look at somebody and then you're like, this person's gonna be jobbing the rest of his career. He's done. He's done.
It's hard to know how that stuff can play out, because you never really know. Like I feel like as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, it's at least a safer bet. But yeah, you never really know.
Yeah.
So
do you have any upcoming shows or?
I've got a few. I'm working Texas All-Star Wrestling here in Texas in Conroe this Saturday. I think my next one after that is Hurricane Pro Wrestling out in Beaumont. Then another Texas All-Star show. I got a Reality of Wrestling show somewhere mixed in there. A lot of Texas stuff, but a lot of shows actually, now that I think about it.
There's a wrestler. I don't know if she wrestled for Hurricane Pro. Do you know Lady Bird Miranda?
Moreau.
I feel like I know her.
Lady Bird Moreau.
I feel like I know her name. I don't know if I know her in person. Like we might have shaken hands once or twice. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
She was really nice. She came on our podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Do you have any social media you want to promote too, or?
Oh yeah. The Buzzard _TB on TB Tommy Bolton on Instagram and Twitter. I'm hardly on Twitter, but Instagram. I be posting the headbutts. And Facebook. I have a page, but people just keep adding me as a friend, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna keep posting my wrestling stuff. on my friend's feed.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
We want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast, by the way. You've been awesome. And we had a great time.
You guys have me.
I was so happy we came on. I'm so happy we got you when we got you. I'm so happy when I messaged you that day. I'm like, yes, you want to come on? Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This has been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. So I guess I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We're going to send it off because I'm Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther III, and
I'm Tommy Bolton.
And we will catch you in the next show. See you tomorrow for the party.